be with you. Like Danielle said, my name's Zach. I'm from AT&T Business Fiber. Today, we got some stuff to go over with you. We're going to break it down into kind of 5 sections. If you type your questions in the chat, like Danielle said, after each section, I'll go ahead and kind of address any questions that have come up in between each one. Get my everything rolling here.
So as he is loading up here, I do have a quick poll that I would like to put on the screen, just again to ask you all here. We want to learn today what has brought me here with us. Well, hopefully it'll come on the screen. It doesn't seem like it. Well, Zach, it is not allowing me to load this up here, so I'll just go ahead and give it back to you.
Okay, no worries. All right. So I have a slideshow presentation. There's a lot of slides in this. I'm not necessarily going to go off them, okay? First section that we're going to cover today is called AT&T Office at Hand. AT&T Office at Hand is AT&T's VoIP, Voice over IP solution. So if we talk about the state of the workforce, right, by 2025, 3.26 million Americans are projected to work remote. Employees who feel included are almost 5 times more likely to report increased productivity. And poor communication costs company over $15,000 per employee per year. A lot of the business challenges that we all see in our small businesses, financial goals, customer expectations, and then support services as well. So Office at Hand is what allows you to run your business from your phone, as well as an actual office phone also. So a lot of the times with small businesses, I've owned 2 or 3 small businesses myself. One of the first problems that a lot of us have, right, is do I use my cell phone? Do I get a business line? Do I go purchase business cell phones? By using voice over IP solutions, it allows us to take those same calls that would come into the business line directly from our cell phones as well, without using our personal cell phone number. Because there's nothing like being a business owner, right? And being stuck in the business and then giving out your personal number and it rings all the time. With the voice over IP solution, you can click a button and then everything goes to voicemail after 5 o'clock. Your personal number stays your personal number and helps you have that work-life balance too. So AT&T Office at Hand, some of the things that come with it does have business phone and business phone features. You have direct messaging, you have audio and video web conferencing available, file and desktop sharing. One of the big reasons a lot of people really like the Office at Hand is it allows them to do their phone calls as well as e-fax and 800 numbers as well, all within the same integrated system without having all kinds of separate machines, everything else. That does have texting available within it as well. We'll get to compliance later, but we are HIPAA compliant, things of that nature, government contracts as well. So that way, if you do want to text with your customers and you have some compliance or anything else that you're trying to track down for those contracts that we know a lot of small business owners are after, this system helps you stay within those compliance guidelines as well. A lot of the benefits of the business is it allows you to very quickly have a very professional stance, having that separate business line, having that, we'll talk about this later as well, having that AI operator position, and to grow and scale. So as you hire employees, as you get more people that are important to your business, adding the lines is just as simple, integrating and migrating them within the same. So then you can, as a business owner, even track, see, have recorded calls, whatever you might need for training purposes also within this system. It's perfect for hybrid workers. I know a lot of times the small business owners, we're on the go a lot, right? Going to meetings, going to potential clients, whatever it may be. This allows us to have that same interaction. Or if we have, again, our workers that are not always at their desk all the time, they can still take that call to their desk from their phone, from their personal cell phone. It also has tons of integrations already set up as well. Salesforce, Skype, Microsoft Teams, G Suite, Office 365, a ton. You can already have those and integrate it directly into those CRM systems, the video recording systems, whatever else may be. And this can be used for, which we'll talk later too, as well as AI note takers, things of that nature also. There are also add-on features too. One is the push to talk. So essentially, your office at hand system can be used as a walkie-talkie system as well, device to device. So it becomes like an internal intercom system, even if your employee isn't in the office. There is a mobile and desktop app that comes with Office at Hand. So you can run everything from your laptop. You can even make calls from your laptop, or you can run it on the phone or tablet, whatever device is best for you and or your employees. Very seamless integration with Microsoft Teams as well. You don't have, and the other nice thing about with AT&T Office at Hand, if you integrate it with Microsoft's Teams, you don't have to have the Microsoft phone license. You don't have to pay for both. AT&T Office at Hand, once integrated, takes the place of what that phone would need to be. And this is the AT&T Office at Hand wireless. So this is where it actually just call forwards. Don't actually have to have the app for this particular one, and it just goes directly in. Then you have your 4-digit dialing, just like extension based, and then an integrated directory within the system as well. So some of the mobile workflows and things like that, enterprises, larger businesses, things like that, you have those business cell phones also. It makes it to where it's one business identity. Again, the cell phone number, the office number, kind of tracking both. Instead of having to have a mobile and work phone number, you can have your work phone number go to that mobile. And this is just saying the bigger picture. AT&T is very much still working on being the all-in-one solution for businesses of any size, whether it be internet, which we're going to talk about later, Office at Hand for helping with those phones and connectivity, and then edge solutions, which is more the on-premise networking, and then security and cybersecurity as well, which is actually the last section of our presentation today. This is here with the security side of AT&T Office at Hand. So HIPAA, we've covered the Carries Law, Raybon Act, we have third-party audits, and then there are encryptions as well, already built into the system. A lot of reasons why people choose Office at Hand is the wireless integration, the business phone features, especially with the ability to do text and fax all through eFax, all through that one piece of system. It just makes it to where we don't have to do 90 different things, right? 4 or 5 different things all in one platform. So this is going more into the AI side of Office at Hand. Kind of the offerings that can use and be helped to utilize a little bit more efficiency with Office at Hand. Conversational insights. So it actually can give you like AI-driven coaching suggestions based on the phone calls and the analytics. It can summarize conversations as well. That way, essentially, you have your own note taker while you're taking the calls, things like that, so that you can kind of focus more on the conversation versus having to write down whatever it may be. Just a little on that one real quick. This one's a little bit better. So the conversational insights summarize and transcribe covers for interactions, video meetings, and emails. Personalized coaching as well, and then take advantage of actionable insights like next steps, objections, follow-ups. These are some of the AIs that we actually use in our processes that have personally helped me in my professional growth as well. But yeah, back to those call central libraries, personalized coaching, and then scorecards also. We'll kind of push through these. A lot of these are kind of repetitive here. Then there's the AT&T's personal AI assistant. So within the AT&T Office hand, you have the option of adding the personal assistant too. That's where it does like, professional text, team messaging, AI rewrites, all built into that system also. It gives you those real-time AI integrations. Uh, AT&T is known for its reliability within the network as well. And then all the AI and communications, again, instead of having 5, 3, 2, whatever different plugins, right, that you're all paying separately for, it can all come within the one platform. This is where it's AI on the phone. So real-time note taking, AI on the call, and then closed captions and live transcriptions of the calls. This is AI with messaging. So for text, things like that, AI summaries, automatic replies can be populated as well. And then AI for video, which is what a lot of our clients seem to really like as well too with the Office of Hand, is using this for just like on a web call today, right? Meeting transcribing, notes, call to actions, next steps. And then the AI receptionist is 24/7 AI powered call handling. So once you've got it, help set up and train it. That way you can kind of never miss a call again. And you can make sure that the understanding for the call is there. Business hours, basic ops, uh, tech support, things of that nature. And then that can actually help route the calls to whichever individual or department that needs to be done as well. And you can even have it set up to where it does text follow ups. Missing calls, we don't really think about it too much, but when you break it down, one missed call, 1 in 5 report that a single missed call could cost their business $1,000. So having the AI receptionist there instead of just voicemail to help go ahead and keep them engaged, keep them on, and divert them to the right way, as well as prompt them to put in more, better follow-up information, also helps our business. This is just some of the AI receptionists within different types of verticals, as we like to call them, essentially different business sectors. And some ways they might be useful. So that's actually the end of that first section. Any questions in the chat? All right.
So far, no questions, but again, if you all have any questions or feedback, points of clarity, please leave those in the chat. It is being monitored.
If we don't have any questions yet, I'll continue on that. So next sections, I'm going to jump in and start talking about the 3 different internet offerings that AT&T Business has. There's some variants within these, but kind of a large overview. So the first one is AT&T Internet Air for business. So Internet Air is a fixed wireless product. There's been 38% fixed wireless growth from 23 to 2027. As the predicted, we predict to have about 17 million fixed wireless subscribers across the globe by 2027. And then 10% of enterprise sites will use 5G as either a primary or backup fixed wireless by 2025. So up from less than 1% in 2021. Fixed wireless, it can be used as primary internet, it can be used as backup. We see it a lot in both, just depending on the needs of your business. How much does it cost your business not being online or not having that internet connection to run cash registers, to make those phone calls, to have internet, right? Video calling, inventory management, whatever else isn't just hardwired anymore. But yeah, secure, reliable internet, getting new pieces quickly, it's low cost, predictable pricing, and then compatibility with certified equipment. The nicest and the easiest part about AT&T Internet Area for Business, it's plug and play. Right? It comes in a box. You download an app, you plug it in, you wait for it to load, it takes about 5 minutes, and boom, you're up and running and your business has internet. It's that simple, that quick. But powered by AT&T's 5G network, depending on obviously service providing. There's a premium plan option, which gives it the first 250 gigabytes of data priority versus the standard tower. Fast speeds, flexible configurations. And this is just kind of showing how it works, right? You have your AT&T wireless internet, everything that plugs in the gateway. And then from there, you've got your PCs, laptops, tablets, whatever devices, as well as you can still have your firewall access points from that as well. But yeah, next, it's very simple. It's just checking whether or not business location, wherever this might be needed, is qualifies for the coverage. What kind of speeds are available, and then picking your plan, whether you go with the monthly or the premium with the high priority for the first 250 gigabytes, if you're using it as a primary source of internet. And then this is just some of the equipment. Some of the questions people ask on that first one, our 5G gateway, which is what typically most of our businesses use. It does have 4 Ethernet ports and an antenna port too. So we have seen some businesses use it and then plug in switches, whatever it might be. But yeah, plug in, power on, get connected. There's no tech install. It's super quick. I have one that I actually use at my home. I live just south of Polaris, and I run my entire household, which includes myself, my wife, and all 3 of our kids play video games, watching Netflix, whatever else may be. And we do perfect on speeds. So use case, primary internet, quick startup, especially if you're coming into business and you need something before, like let's say it's a new build, you need the internet access. You don't have the build out yet from whether it be AT&T Fiber, one of the other competitors, what may be. The other people use it for just like that is the temporary locations. You're in between, you're going to jump in a place and use it at home real fast while you're moving offices. And then again, a lot of people use AT&T Internet Air for Business as a backup as well. Okay, so that way, if for whatever reason, even if your provider isn't AT&T on your primary internet, let's say any one of the competitors out there, you can still have this as a backup to where if their internet goes out, then you have AT&T's 5G network, so you still stay online, so you don't have to worry about internet disrupting your business. And then a lot of the times, a lot of our customers are in rural areas that don't have the fiber internet build outs like they would want. And this has been a great resource for them to still have a solid internet connection. That's the end of that section.
All right, Zach, we got a few questions and a comment in the chat. First question comes from Darlene. Do you have to have separate logins for each application utilized?
each application utilized. I'm assuming this is more with the Office at Hand. The Office at Hand desktop and the mobile, once you log in, any of those add-on plugins that you have will all kind of go through there. And then such as Microsoft Teams, Salesforce, ETCs. Yeah. All right. So you would integrate them, and then it would just automatically pull that information to wherever you want it to be. You can view it within those integrated, and it pulls all the information into AT&T Office at Hand. And then I'm interested in firewall access point installation along with cybersecurity policies and procedures. Perfect. So that would go more into our specific edge talks, which I don't really have a lot of coverage today, Darlene, but I can reach out to you and talk to you a little bit more about the physicals. We are going to talk about a cybersecurity cloud-based called Dynamic Defense. That's our last section. The only caveat to it is it does have to be partnered with either our AT&T Business Fiber or AT&T Dedicated Internet for Business, which is actually the next two sections we're about to cover.
Wonderful. We have one more question coming in from Laura. I believe she may be typing.
Okay.
As she is typing, Zach has given some really great information, so I'm definitely hoping that you're jotting those things down. As a reminder, this session is recorded and you will receive the recording in this post and an email. And again, be able to receive direct access to Zach as well. Keep those questions coming and those feedback, and we'll make sure we get those answered to you. And Laura, we're going to keep things going and continue to type that question in the chat, and we'll make sure we get that answered for you.
So next we're going to talk AT&T Business Fiber Internet Solutions. So AT&T is the current U.S. market leader in U.S. fiber-lit buildings for 9 years in a row. AT&T is the nation's fastest internet and wireless network. Okay. So common misconceptions, and I'm kind of going to address just really quick, that I don't believe is actually covered in the slides. So when AT&T has business fiber available at one of your business locations, it's fiber optics, okay, which is glass. So it's actually using light speed versus electrical speed, like the older technology we used to use, those copper lines, things like that. We obviously have a lot of competitors out there. Most of our competitors are not using full fiber optics. Most of them are calling it fiber powered internet. You'll see that quite a bit. They're using coax cables, so it's a hybrid. It's not full fiber optics. It's a fiber / copper. Some of the biggest things you see in the differences between those, with AT&T's fiber optics, your upload speed and download speed are going to be symmetrical. Okay? If you're not on a true fiber optics network, a lot of the times you might see you've got 600 download speed, but you've only got 10 to 15 upload speed. Okay. With fiber optics, AT&T guarantees that those are symmetrical. The upload matters for things like we're doing right now, video calling, right? I'm transporting my voice, my visual, everything out to the net, and then it's going to each one of you respectively. That upload is what helps make sure that's seamless. There's no lag, there's no jitter. I don't freeze and then you hear me talk like Mickey or Minnie Mouse for 5 seconds to catch everything back up, as well as document uploading, things like that. That's where those upload speeds come into play, and that's kind of what helps set AT&T Business Fiber apart as well. Simple, straightforward billing. There's no data caps. There's no equipment fees. There's no annual contracts either. So with AT&T Business Fiber, it's a shared broadband, just like most of us use at our homes, but for business. But the nice thing is there is no contract. So you could start it up, 30 days, love it, don't love it, cancel, and there's no having to figure out how to get out of a contract or anything else like that. Symmetrical speeds up to 5 gigabits per second were available. Uploads as fast as the downloads, and then consistent hyper-fast speeds in any day. So if you go shared fiber at 1 gig or above, the equipment you actually get sent automatically has the wireless backup. If you remember in the section before, I talked about AT&T Internet Air being a backup. This essentially has that already built in, as well as built into the cost. Okay. So in the rare event there is a fiber outage, somebody hits a telephone pole, takes out the lines, whatever it may be, you still have AT&T's 5G network to keep your business running. And then it's seamless failover, switch, and recovery, and no charge when you do a gig or above with that product. Just another reason to have the fast internet, right? The office at hand, the VoIP solution, anytime you're speaking, right, that's also an upload. So that's where, again, having those symmetrical speeds can really help your business stay connected with your customers. Why use AT&T Fiber? It's straightforward. It's simple. We also now have the AT&T guarantee. So we're the only shared broadband network that gives any sort of guarantees. Essentially, that's credit billing for outages, things of that nature. Every other company, there's no guarantee you get that, right? We actually now have that at our shared level. Okay. That's it for that section. Danielle, I'm not seeing any other questions in the chat. I'm going to go ahead and move forward with our next one. Oh, can we expand on the backup of data? So, backup of data. Darlene, are you speaking the wireless failover backup, or backup of data as far as your personal files, things like that? Sure. So this is if you were to say uploading a file and sending it through email, anything else like that. It does it just the way you would do it now, right? The difference is with AT&T Business Fiber, you do it much quicker and much more efficiently. So the files you'd be automatically manually uploading anyway, right? These are things like sending them out, or again, jumping on video calls like this. It just makes it to where that works more efficiently and quicker. Does that help answer that question, Darlene? It's not a file save. I need those files backed up daily. So if you're doing that, that would be more of a on-premise, like interbusiness type situation. If you're going to want those backed up, that's more of a, what are you backing them up to? Are you backing them up to your own data cloud, your own server, or are you backing them up for anything of those natures there? That's more of a on-site IT solution, which we can again address when we talk later as well. Perfect. Okay, so your cloud would be powered by our internet, but not hosted by us, right? So we don't. That would be something a little bit separate. Craig, is there a contract for gig and above speed? Not on the shared ports. No. If it's regular AT&T business broadband fiber, which is what the majority of our businesses use, the reason I say shared broadband is because our next section is dedicated internet. That's why I kind of like to specify those. Any shared port, even if it's up to 5 gigs, there is no contract. No. Wait just a couple more seconds, see if there's any other questions. All right. If you have any more questions, keep adding them in. I'll address them after the next section. I'm going to go ahead and move into the dedicated internet portion. So we just talked about the shared broadband, right? And the reason we call it shared broadband, if you're on that, just like at our homes, you're on a circuit with all the other businesses within that node or that area, and you guys kind of share that signal, right? That's how majority of internet works. AT&T dedicated internet puts your business on its own separate circuit and node. Okay. So focus, you have like the 91 network accessibility. So dedicated internet access is growing as more and more companies utilize it. Okay. Insider secrets, some things I can say, I think, and be okay with. Some of our larger accounts, things like that. Pretty much most of the large global chains are all running some sort of dedicated internet. Okay. Reason is because they know if the internet goes down, they can't function as a business. And how much does it cost the business to be down for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, right? Dedicated internet does come with contracts. Okay, I know Craig had mentioned that. This is where the contracts kind of come into play because AT&T builds out a separate node, complete node, private to your business. Think of the internet in shared versus dedicated, kind of like being on the highway, right? I assume most of us around Columbus, we all know what traffic's like on 270. So think of it with the shared, kind of like 270. Sometimes traffic can get congested, you slow down, you're not going quite as fast as you would at other times, depending on how everyone's using that network. Now imagine if you had your own private lane with your business name only on it, right beside 270, that you could drive on by yourself and never have any worry about slowing down, speeding up, do exactly as you please as you need it. That's dedicated internet. Dedicated internet is when you have a business that has mission critical operations, a lot of the times that goes specifically with your operations. Okay. A lot of different businesses utilize it. A lot of the verticals that we see very specifically, you see a lot of law firms, you see a lot of financial services, you see a lot of actually supermarkets, believe it or not. And then you get into manufacturing, healthcare as well. The other nice thing about it is where it is your own separate network, right? You don't have the issue with security of having that same signal being sent throughout all the different businesses on that node as well. This is you, only you. The only traffic that's coming and going is your traffic. So once you have dedicated internet set up, protecting your business becomes much more efficient as well. So we talked about AT&T Guarantee on the AT&T Business Fiber. This actually has service level agreement SLAs within the contract that AT&T is guaranteeing you 99.9% uptime. And if it's not met, you get credited back on your bill. You also get dedicated service and technicians. And it does also come with 5 free static IP addresses within dedicated internet circuits as well. Yeah, there's 100% uptime, data delivery, less than 1 microbit per second of jitter, and less than 37 of latency. Which again, the voice over IP solutions, your real-time voice and video calls, things like that, all running off those internet. Dedicated is the way to make sure you never have to worry about going out. This kind of comes into play dynamic defense, which is actually the full next section I'm going to go over. But essentially, that's the network cloud-based cybersecurity system AT&T has in place with our dedicated, and now is available on those shared ports as well, the shared AT&T fiber for business. It comes directly from our data center. There's no equipment. It's cloud-based, and it does help tracking and filtering depending on the level you pick on your circuit. Then as far as choosing the speeds you need, so I know on a lot of times those shared ports, right? You see 300, 500 gig over a gig. Sometimes you don't always get those speeds necessarily, right? And again, you have those kind of waivers and uptime and downtime depending on usage on the network. A lot of the times when people do dedicated internet, they don't need the speeds that they had on a shared network because it's dedicated to them. And because they're the only ones using it, it doesn't have that pull. This is kind of a gathering chart to kind of let you know the speeds you need on a dedicated internet circuit. With the dedicated internet circuit, it does have its own separate online portal too to help you manage it, see billing, understand your speeds, maintenance, reporting, support. And the dedicated internet gets its own support line separate from the shared broadband. They have their own department. And then this is something else too. You do have the option of having AT&T manage your router with an AT&T dedicated internet as well. So instead of just supplying, we also supply and monitor, essentially being your own IT department as well. Okay. Then you also get next day business replacement for routers, things of that nature too. If that's your choice in case of us providing all of your IT needs. Because with AT&T dedicated internet, we supply everything up to the building. You can choose to have us supply the rest, or a lot of businesses that use this, utilize this, have their own IT department internally, whatever it may be, and then they kind of handle everything from that point on. It's your option. It's your choice. You kind of get to tailor that to what makes sense for your business the most. That section. Any other questions pop up in the chat from that? No other questions. I'm going to keep on rolling through them. So AT&T Dynamic Defense. This is the cybersecurity solution that is network embedded. And I touched a little bit on it before. This is going to do a little bit further deep dive on the breakdowns and everything. But AT&T Dynamic Defense provides an intelligent layer of network security on our data center side, right? So it helps stop the threats before it even actually reaches your business. So think of your business as a house, right? So let's say you have a firewall on premise, right? You have a Sonic wall, whatever else may be, Cisco Meraki. That's going to stop it at your front door, kind of right after you've already walked in, right? It's still going to let the traffic come in, but it's going to block it before it goes to your devices. Dynamic defense, think of it as putting a gate in front of your house, your business. This is going to help detect the threat and monitoring before it even touches your actual network or gets into your business's network. The other nice thing is it deploys easily, there's no equipment, and you can still monitor it just like you would if you had an on-premise firewall. And don't get me wrong, we have businesses that are using both. With cybersecurity threats growing and growing, you can't ever really be too safe. Okay, so dynamic defense, it's network embedded comprehensive security. You also get smart protection, which is AI-driven security as well. The visibility, it helps eliminate unwanted and malicious traffic. It has the best in-class threat intelligence and super easy deployment because it's all done on our end. And this is just kind of a graph and a chart to kind of show how that works, right? So you've got your internet and cloud applications, right? You've got malicious traffic and expected traffic. It's the dynamic defense. This is what traditional without dynamic defense. This is with dynamic defense, okay? Expected traffic goes straight to your customer edge. Malicious traffic on a traditional network goes straight to the edge as well. So it's still getting to your business if you're using an on-premise firewall, but it's filtering it out before it hits your devices and everything else. With dynamic defense, it is stopping that malicious traffic before it ever touches your actual physical on-premise network. Yeah, so as far as numbers go, 99.98% security effectiveness. AT&T Dynamic Defense blocks 45% more threats in the industry than your average cloud firewall solutions. 97% cyber threats are blocked, with 96 advanced cyber attacks blocked. And we can put it on the dedicated internet, but like I said, this slide doesn't show it as well, but we have done it now to where you can use dynamic defense on those broadband shared ports as well now. We'll go to the next one because this one I like a little bit better. So there's 3 levels to dynamic defense. Okay? There's the dynamic defense shield, which is the standard. Blocks malicious IP addresses with certain exceptions. Okay. The advanced package, which then you have a stateful firewall, geo filtering, web filtering, threat protection. You get the applications for the logging and filtering as well. Application-based policy reason, version control, and then DNS protection also. And then on the premium package, that's where you get the virus, spyware, and vulnerability as well. So we'll go ahead to the next session. This is going to break those things down a little bit more, what they actually mean. So think of the security levels. 1, automatic threat response. That's the defense shield. That's the initial standard package. It protects against malicious domains and threat signatures, known problems, right? Step 2 would be the advanced, which is the next-gen firewall. then you can block traffic from high-risk countries, URL categories, things like that. So, let's say that you don't do any business with countries that we're not associated with as a country. You can actually block all traffic specifically from certain countries, which a lot of our cybersecurity attacks aren't even inside the country. A lot of times they're out of the country coming in. And then the premium expands beyond the web traffic and identifies and protects against highly sophisticated threat actors. Those are the kind of the threats that are always looking at attack when you hear about these shutdowns from large companies. That one, the premium, is what helps protect against those types of threats. Stateful firewall. The geo filtering, that's what allows you to block it by IP and location. Web filtering, so you can actually block certain websites on your network as well. So employees, clients, whoever else, if they're on your network, they can't even access those types of websites. Reporting and logging, so you can actually see what's being blocked and filtered. Policy manager, so that gives you the ability to really customize what dynamic defense is or isn't blocking. And the premium threat detection, that's where you're worried about, the spyware, viruses, things of that nature too. Two configuration options of dynamic defense. There's smart protection and quick start. So if you were to purchase and have this going on at your business, smart protection, AT&T monitors traffic for 7 days and then configures a policy specifically for that business. And then the quick start, it goes with basically a predetermined business suite that AT&T's kind of already tailored to protect majority of businesses. Boom, up, running, going. Doesn't have the personalization aspect to it, but just run straight through. Both of them already come included. It just depends on how hands-on or hands-off you want to be within the system. Built-in resources, on-demand security, and then basically just an additional layer of protection. The rest of these, but it does have the industry talking. 2025 winner Cybersecurity Excellence Award. 2025 Global Award Gold winner for cybersecurity. Top InfoSec Security Breakthrough Award, and then Cybersecurity Excellence as well. And everything else I had. All right, so it looks like with dynamic defense, do you need a firewall at all? Dynamic defense in itself, when you get it, it is a firewall. Do you have to have one on premise? I'm going to caveat that and say that's completely up to your business and how secure you want to be. Now, we definitely have businesses that are switching to dynamic defense and getting rid of the firewall that they have because of redundancy. The slides and everything don't really talk about this, but the technology that we're partnering with and using for the firewall is Palo Alto, which is known in the sector to be the best and the most expensive. Because we do it on such a widespread way, it's actually significantly less expensive to use dynamic defense than actually having in Palo Alto on premise, with the registration fees and the licensing and everything else. So do you need a firewall at all? Dynamic defense is a firewall. It's just a cloud-based one. I think your question is more, do you need one on site? I would again say that's depending on how secure you want your business. Some people do, some people don't. It really depends on what you're comfortable with. Yeah. I can't say definitively, no, you don't, because it just depends again on how secure you do or don't want your information. Putting another layer on, it can't hurt. Do you have to have it? I would say probably not, because of what dynamic defense is able to do. But yeah, that's the end of everything I have for today. You guys will be getting my information as well. Darlene, I'll reach out to you also. My phone number, 614-720-5246. That's actually my business cell phone. So that's my direct number. If you ever have any questions within the AT sphere, feel free to reach out, call. We can set up a meeting, and we can move forward from there. And then one of the kind of the value props we have is I am an Ohio rep. So our office is based out of Reynoldsburg. I cover the entire state of Ohio. But once I actually bring a client in or customer, whatever else may be, I'm the point of contact. So you don't have to call the 800 line. I can help you with pretty much everything from there on. But Danielle, thanks for having me. If we have any other questions, I'll be happy to stick around for a little bit.
Wonderful. Definitely. If you have any questions, please leave them in the chat. And thank you, Zach, for such an informative and knowledgeable presentation. I personally have AT&T for my home internet and phone services. So I love hearing more about what they do for business owners. And I hope that you all did too. You have a direct connection now with Zach for any of your business inquiry questions and just overall AT&T service questions. So please don't hesitate to give him a ring or shoot him an email. As mentioned earlier before, I'm Danielle Pierre, Columbus MBAC Certification and Outreach Manager, and we host these monthly lunch and learns twice a month on the second and fourth Thursday of each month. Next month, we won't be hosting our lunch and learns because we have quite a few in-person events coming up. So you all will be receiving an email from me sharing what those upcoming events will be. They will be in person and one of them being hybrid. So if you're not able to make it there, we will have that virtual